Iggy Pop with Gardenia, which is lifted from the album Post-Pop Depression. Joshua co-wrote this track with Iggy, and he plays and sings on it too. And so, well, it's Marianne Hobbs, BBC Radio 6 Music. And last week I spoke to Joshua Homme over Skype at his bolt hole on America's West Coast. We talked about many things, about Glastonbury, Beyonce, motorcycles, Iggy himself, and of course the new album by Queens of the Stone Age, In Times New Roman. And over the next 40 minutes you're going to hear the conversation that we had, and also some exclusive extracts of the new record. And we've called this piece The Bones of Joshua.
6. Marianne Hobbs.
Joshua.
Hi.
It's Marianne Hobbs.
Hi.
How you doing?
It's good to hear from you.
I'm just wondering if you remember the last time that I saw you, actually. Do you remember I took you to meet Björk?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And we were at a festival in Europe, like in the centre of Europe somewhere. And a friend of mine was Björk's tour manager, and I was out on the road with you making a documentary. And you said to me, please, can we meet Björk? So I kind of brokered a deal for you to go and see her. And you stood on the doorstep of her trailer, and it was the first time I think I'd seen you speechless.
Well, it's funny. Most people are like somebody that you went to school with, so I don't really get often very starstruck. It's like Björk, and it was like the singer for GBH, like Colin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can do shots with McCartney all day long. And every once in a while, there's just somebody it's very rare. But yeah, Björk would be one of those for me, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. I do remember that well.
It was a beautiful moment. Yeah. Well, listen, in return, I have to say thank you to you for the world exclusive premiere of Emotion Sickness, which we got just minutes before it dropped on every other platform. So that was a beautiful gift to us.
Oh, well, I can't say it was 100% responsible for that gift, but I'm really glad it was you. After all these years.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but we're getting older.
Oh, don't break my heart. Tell me about this new record. What kind of agenda did you set for this record?
Oh, look, I just, this girl, Nikki Lane, that I worked with, she's talking about why she hadn't made a record in 5 years. And she said she needed to live, to have something to write about. And I just, I needed that too. I didn't really start singing this record till last November. And when we were mixing, but it had been recorded 2 years before, the music. And I just, I needed myself to get to acceptance, before I could. Because I think that's what this whole record's about, just accepting,
Yeah, I hear that. I remember a very beautiful expression that you once made to me, and you talked to me about the songwriting process, and you said it was kind of a little bit like trying to catch a butterfly and falling over logs as you were moving through the forest, and that butterfly was always just a moment out of reach.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. The other analogy I've used is like chasing brake lights in the dust, and like just being so excited to see the brake lights to know I'm that close,
Mm-hmm.
Like the Eagles' death metal records, or the Vultures record, or working on Desert Sessions, or working with other people, those seem easy by comparison to doing a Queen's record. It keeps getting harder and harder and harder. And I think that's probably because I'm in charge of the words for sure, and when I was younger, I was just moving at the speed of inspiration, and I felt comfortable in being strange as a way to maybe be a trick to cover up what you think and what you feel sometimes, or as like bits of strange in order to cover up the how you feel while you're revealing part of how you feel. But as the years have gone on, that's not possible anymore. I've just been through too much to hold back, and just so now I think maybe it's just it's got to be as vulnerable and real as possible, and I realize I only have myself to give, so it's just a little harder now somehow.
I'm kind of interested in the process. You speak very emotively about this. How are these words actually landing for you? You're saying to me that you are obviously 100% responsible for this element of the songwriting. How is it coalescing?
Well, it's weird because there's strange moments. I just looked at a lyric video for Carnivore Europe done by this fellow Liam Lynch, who I've worked with for years. And he's such a close friend. You know, when you understand someone and they understand you, it's such a fleeting moment, but it feels so good to understand somebody or to be understood. And so he's making these things from a place of understanding. And like, it's almost like, God, I wonder if I'm going to break down right now, because I'm just not right now. But and when I was watching this thing, because I've never seen the lyrics up against this backdrop of someone who has a good understanding and can do visuals like that, you know. I was really thankful, honestly, to see someone who cares so much like Liam make something about something I care about, you know. It just felt good to be able to have that possibility of something doing that, you know, just to be able to participate in something like that, you know. I guess I enter this record sort of the most thankful for what it is I do than I ever have in any other record before.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So tell me about the influences in your life, be they powerful or very subtle perhaps, that you found positive, that you found really progressive at this point.
I've been reading a lot of Carl Jung, that's a lot about uniting the two sides of yourself, that shadow self and the self that's out there in the world, to be seen easier. And it's just meant a lot to me because everyone has had such a difficult 4 or 5 years. And I too have had that, you know. But as I said before, I just was very much into finding a way not to hold on to things when I'm not supposed to, you know. There's been a lot of things that I haven't lost. They've just gone away. They've ended. They've reached their conclusion. And I want to be able to understand that and be okay and letting go of that. You know, it would be a shame to deny the reality that something is gone and try to hold on too tight, and that not be the case. I think, and that's probably why I couldn't sing this or finish the words. I really couldn't finish the words. I was like terrified to finish the words, if I'm being honest, you know. But then when I could, it was like, I got it, I can let it go.
Do you still really find, I guess, a hugely cathartic and powerful release within the music that you're making?
That's all I find. That's what I find, especially when you make a record, I guess, under what I would call duress, you know. It's not that it was duress by a record label or the guys, you know. They were really supportive of like, you should use this thing for the reason it's there, you know. And I think opening your jacket and revealing where your heart beats to the world is hard sometimes, but that's kind of what this has become about. And in particular, I think since Like Clockwork, where I was like, I have to, in the making of this, there isn't the rest of the world there. And so searching the darkest paths in what you have has been what I've been trying to do for myself, and for it to be real and to feel honest and to feel like it means something, you know. And there's a little bit of horror in that it's going to go out everywhere, you know, because then I have to face the fact that I have to deal with everyone else is going to interpret that. You know, I don't participate in being online and things like that very much because I just don't feel like it's very healthy, because I have this moment of almost like, oh God, everyone's going to hear this. What happens now? You know? So I think this, like many years of learning to let go of things and just let them go, you know? So the record comes out and it's like, you know, you just let it go, and it's almost like it's yours now. It's not mine anymore, you know? And that exercise has been helpful. Yeah, I mean, I love to leap from the darkness when no one has any clue you have a record coming. It's why there isn't much preamble in my world anymore. It's just like, ooh, you know. and because I think that's something more enjoyable for a fan. If I was a fan, I would like that. So it's more what would a fan want, you know? And that's the question we keep asking over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
I would want to be shocked. I would want someone to pull my collar and say, "Gotta hear this." And strangely, sorry, that's my dad.
Take it, it's fine.
That's just my son's at the orthodontist. I don't think I have time to take it, but thank you for saying that. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, but my dad often does that to me.
Just calls you at an optimum moment. Yeah, I hear that. Tell me about your relationship with your audience in the UK. I mean, to me, it's always just been such a profoundly special thing. It's been like a symbiotic relationship, and it's intimate with you always, isn't it?
Well, I think the UK audience always surprises me because I always get my mind blown by them. I think I always feel like I'm trying to do that for them, but it's always happening back because I always feel like a kid from the desert that no one's going to know what I do, you know? So I think I'm always stuck in the surprise of how kind of the UK audience is and how excited they are. And so I think a lot of these things are really made directly at the UK audience because it's like, I don't want to let go of your hand or something. You know?
We're excited that you're coming back to headline the other stage at Glastonbury too this year. That's going to be big. You've done it before once, haven't you?
You know, I must say, I keep getting the call to do the hard job. So before, there was this thing where it's like, no one will accept the gig against Beyonce, right? So I was like, well, I will. And we had an enormous success, and it was wonderful. And so I was just like tripping out on the lasers, like, wow. And then, you know, Troy, I think, touched me at one time. He's like, "Dude, turn around." And this, you know, 70,000 people, and I could hear Beyonce too for free. It's like I was listening to Beyonce in between the songs. And then here we are again with no one wanting to play against Elton John. And so it was like, will you? And so I was like, you want me to play against Elton John? But I thought, again, I'll be able to hear Elton John in between the songs, and someone's got to do it. Plus, I love Elton John, you know, so here we go.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see.
Are you still riding motorbikes?
Oh.
Yeah. What are you riding right now?
I have a 70 Triumph Bonneville that's been stretched out for my length. And I have what I call a grandpa bike, which is a Harley Ultra Classic, because you can listen to the radio. And then I have a chopper that's been SS, 121 cc engine with a 6-speed Rivera. It almost looks like a sketch of the motorcycle that was never finished. But I like to ride a motorcycle because if you don't pay attention, you die. There's something about being in the moment like that, which has always been, I've always liked that. Yeah.
I feel like the new Queen's album would be best listened to actually through that radio on your motorcycle. That would be the optimum place to actually listen to the new record, wouldn't it?
Well, what I like when you listen to music on motorcycle loud is it's loud and you sort of spill out all over everybody. You sort of like spill onto the cars next to you. There's a expression, there's loud pipes save lives, right? Mm-hmm. You make yourself aware to those around you. But I suppose that would be good too. Okay, maybe I'll give it a go. What
else are you listening to right now that's switching you on?
I haven't really listened to much music in the last grip of time. I have stuff that I always listen to, like Chet Baker and Master Gilberto when I'm like making dinner and, cavorting around the house.
What are you doing in the kitchen?
Making dinner for my littles.
Yeah. What's your signature dish?
Well, lately I've been making swordfish. So, I want to get my mercury levels up really high. So lately that's what I've been doing, is making a lot of fish.
Yeah. God, that sounds fabulous.
But I really have been listening more to comedy than anything. I've always been a bit of a comedy nerd. I saw George Carlin when I was 9 years old and I never looked back, So I've been listening to a lot of Maria Bamford, and a lot of Nikki Glaser, and a lot of Mark Norman, and a lot of Bill Burr, and a lot of Ricky Gervais, and even a little Jack Whitehall. I think for me, especially, when life is good, it's funny. When life is horrific, it's really funny. And so I think comedy has always been my it's a way of making fun where there is not, right? You know, and in my own gallows humor, I like a little comedy. So when I'm driving along, that's what I'm doing.
Are there other people at this juncture that you think, I would really love to work with that person, I've never done it before, that you might loop into a desert session or another project?
Well, there's things that are interesting and because they're on chemistry, but after the Iggy thing, I was like, I don't know what to do. You know, I had very severe post-pop depression. I just was, and that was the pinnacle of my musical collaborative desires, you know? And so now I'm just sort of taking it as it comes, you know? I mean, I'd love to do another dozen sessions, and I think there's a lot of strange chemistry possibilities there. And I just like to be a little part of something that's bigger, you know? So I like to be small too.
Tell me about Iggy just really quickly before I let you go. Tell me about that experience.
Well, what I would say is that people say, well, she's a 1 in a million or he's a 1 in a million. It's like, I think that he is 1 in, 4 billion. I just think he's well-read, comes from a tough post-war upbringing. He is truly an incredible poet, and there is no one who's been so far ahead of their time for so long. I mean, it took 35 years for the Stooges to have a gold record, but they spawned 1,000 bands. I mean, but people hated the Stooges. And, just a little wiry muscle that's hung like a mule too. It's just this strange confluence of everything. Plus someone who has a high threshold for pain, but a high desire for risk. He has this confluence of things, and someone who also, I try to live for the third truth. There's 3 truths: yours, mine, what actually happened. But Iggy, I mean, he never takes credit for something that wasn't his. And Iggy still has a bottle of wine with dinner every night, and that's it. There's something gorgeous about this gentle control he has. He's not trying to be in control of anything, except just these little tiny things that he can control. It's the opposite of a control freak. But I also feel like being that ahead of your time is, I've seen how lonely that can be. I've seen it in him. It's just that's lonely to be. Can imagine how lonely it would be to say, God, I think this music has something about it. How come everyone hates it? It's not that they don't even like it, they actually hate it. And to still have to find a way to believe in yourself. This is very admirable. I just don't know if that could ever happen again.
Joshua, listen, it's such a pleasure to talk to you. I'm going to have to let you go because we're already running late. But I just wanted to ask you one more thing. What do you see now when you look ahead?
Well, 6 years is a long time to wait. Life is very short. You never know, So for the first time ever, I've made a 5-year kind of a plan. I'm going to make things. I'm going to make a lot of things. And I'm going to take the short people that live in my house, and we're going to go see the world. And we're going to do it right now. And I don't want to rest, I want to run. So that's what I'm going to do.